And like I said, there's the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted market, you're not allowed to grow fast. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello, everyone. Hello, and happy MLM Monday. The day where you watch your favorite multi-level marketing creator. Your favorite creator on the platform that talks about these multi-level marketing schemes. And that's why you're here today, to watch me, because I'm your favorite. I'm just joking. I'm probably not. But I am very glad that you are here today because we are going to have a wonderful time. I hope you didn't mind my intro. I felt a little nostalgic. You know, we needed a bumpin' intro, like a blast from the past. I feel like we're living in like some kind of a time loop with this Unpassive Victory with Ash stuff. Anyways, I usually talk about other companies on MLM Monday. But, you know, I thought to start off the year with some extra fun, we would talk about my favorite MLM company ever. So without further ado, tonight we gather to explore the ancient and mysterious concept of dun 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 dun, expectations. And before we get into tonight's masterpiece, let's start with a definition. Expectations, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Pretty simple, right? I mean, I think we all know what it is. And in the world of sales, legitimate sales, real sales, we're totally not a business sales, expectations matter. You don't want to oversell because that leads to disappointment. But you also don't want to undersell because then people assume the product is terrible before they even see it. Healthy expectations are about balance, like everything in life, right? You want to give people a realistic idea of what they're getting without hype or doom. Which brings us to Red Redford and his thoughts on expectations. Defined, according to Red's very official dictionary, as the act or state of anticipating something that may or may not ever happen, but preferably should probably not happen at all. Victory with Ash should not exist in a world of sales. However, because it is totally not a real business, absolutely won't be selling anything, stop asking. But allegedly, it was important this past week that we discuss everyone's expectations when it comes to selling and about what Victory with Ash will be. So tonight, Red is going to give us a very dramatic dictionary definition of expectations. And then Jeanne is going to treat it like it's the greatest speech ever written. Meanwhile, both of them are telling everyone to basically lower their expectations. Dramatically, aggressively, possibly into the fucking basement, because nothing says confidence like a motivational speech that begins with, "Please don't expect too much." And meanwhile, we'll be here enjoying the irony, the theatrics, and the unintentional honesty of all of this. So let's have some fun without further ado. Red Redford tells us about expectations. I sped it up a little bit just so that it would be extra fun. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Perfect timing.
Hi everyone, how are you? Good to be here as always. Today is Friday, January the 2nd. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. I was at work this morning. Anyway, let's...
Yes, I have cut a little bit out. Yeah, we're just here to learn about expectations. But Red was saying he was at work and he was working in the kitchen. It was busy, blah, 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 blah. Cool story, bro, Also, I hope everyone has had a great start to 2026, including you, Red.
Get going. What have I got for you today? Today is expectations. Funny old thing, isn't it? Really, expectations.
Not really. It's pretty straightforward, but sure.
All have them. And the beauty about an expectation is everybody's is different from somebody else's. And that is down to really your person you are, your persona, what information you have, and lots of other things as well.
Very good, Red. We're all individuals with different thoughts, feelings, expectations, views on the world. I'm glad that you finally figured this out when you were in your 60s. Hello, Jelly Snack. Good to see you. You're here just to learn about expectations. I'm sure that you learned this in grade 5 in school. I feel like a lot of these speeches that Red gives is extremely juvenile. It's like, okay, kids, everybody come gather around. Today I'm going to teach you expectations.
But there really is two kinds of expectations, and that is a personal expectation and a business expectation. First of all, then we're going
there's way more than that, but okay. Those too much for his mind to handle, I guess. We can only deal with 2 at a time,
have a look at people's personal expectations and really what it is. And it is a strong belief or mental assumption about what will or should happen in the future. We all have it, don't we? We've obviously got expectations about victory with Ash and moving forward into the next business.
And I'm like, okay, victory with Ash and moving forward to the next business. So I'm expecting him to tell us what his expectations are. You know, when I was first watching this, I was like, oh, this should be interesting. He's going to let us know what his expectations of victory with Ash are as an educational platform. And then he'll probably, you know, tell us his expectations for the new business. And that should be quite interesting. That's not what really happens.
Is our expectations. And it is a very natural concept to have. And this concept applies to a wide range of contexts, from personal feelings to professional standards as well. One of the core definitions of expectations is a predictive belief. And that is a belief that something is likely to happen based on evidence or past experiences.
You know, like if you're in an alleged company for 8 years and the CEO of the company for 8 years every 3 months tells you the company is going to launch for 8 years and then it never happens, your expectation might then be, when he announces a new company in future, that company probably isn't going to launch either. Expectations.
I.e., it's expected to rain because the sky is dark, for instance.
You know, guy gets an 8-year director's bar from the Security and Exchange Commission in the US. Probably can't start a business for 8 years. Says he's going to do an educational platform to share his knowledge. And they're all like, we don't know what's going to be happening. You'll be waiting there for 8 years. I can tell you based on my expectation of what's going to happen.
Instance, that is an expectation. When we are expectant of something, it is generally because of information that we've been given, or at least signs of things happening. This is our expectation.
Or maybe not happening. Maybe signs of things not happening at all. Never happening.
Suppose from a personal point of view. It is not just about that. There's lots of other reasons as well within your personal life, expectations with partners, with siblings, with households. All of these have a certain amount of expectation.
Jelly says, is his voice weird? Yes, I sped him up just like 10%. Just to make it extra chipmunky and fun.
Evolved around it. And it's not an unnatural thing to have it. So people who...
It sounds like he's talking about masturbation to a teenager or something. It's very natural to feel like you have expectations about things in the future. Listen, it's very natural to do that. Don't worry, we all have feelings. You know, it's like, what the fuck, Red?
Our feeling, having an expectation of something, it's not a bad feeling to have. In fact, I firmly believe that it's actually a good thing to have. Why not have expectations about certain things? This gives you guidelines. It gives you landmarks to see where you are with your life and also in business.
Yeah, again, just personal and business expectations. Yeah, but Jane doesn't do that anymore. Why did it mess up? Yeah, but Jane doesn't do that anymore. Like, you know when you're having the talk and you're like, one day you might have feelings. I couldn't help but get like the same vibes. Like, he's like, everybody has expectations. They're completely natural. And I'm like, wait, like, this is the weirdest talk, because you have to think, this is supposed to be for people that are all like his age. Like, I think they're aware of expectations and what they are. Like, the bar has really dropped here.
It's also a normative standard, a belief about how someone should behave or how a situation ought to unfold, i.e. a teacher's expectation that a student arrive prepared for a lesson. That is an expectation of somebody. And it's also an anticipation or hope, and the feeling of looking forward to a future event, often accompanied by excitement and normally apprehension as well.
Oh, yeah.
It happens in belief as well, personal and social, beliefs about one's own abilities, self-expectation, of course, or in a social norms that dictate how people should interact within a community. That is also an expectation.
Yep, no, there's people on the spectrum. We just don't exist.
We have this a lot, don't we? And we've seen it certainly over our journey with our business moving forward.
You've seen expectations? I have seen a lot of you have expectations, but it's funny because although you guys seem to think that people just make up their expectations about Ash Mufareh and, let's say, on Passive in the past and what it would be just out of thin air, I was always able to find where an O founder got the idea from. Like, usually if an O founder had a ginormous expectation of what something was supposed to be, it was because one of the top leaders in the company hyped that thing up to be that. So it wasn't like they had crazy expectations. They would all come from somewhere, right? And so it's like, I've seen a lot of that, but that's not how Red and like people like Chris or Jeanne, who we'll see later on, view that, right? They see it as just founders going crazy with their crazy high expectations.
There's been a lot of expectation within it, and that is because of information that we have been given. Not a bad thing, but remember, expectation is one thing, but reality is a completely different thing. Today we're talking about what expectation is and really how that is towards us.
So close. So close he was.
It also involves with employees as well, professional standards, productivity, etc. What is the expectation of a person at work?
Yeah, you know, like if an employer says to you, hey, if you move to Dubai and work for me, I'll give you a good paycheck and a great job and money to send home to your family. And then you show up in Dubai to work for that employer and he takes your passport. And then he tells you that basically you got to work for him day in, day out, no sleep, hardly any food. And you do that for 9 months straight. And then he doesn't pay you. And then they just shut down the office and tell you to go fuck yourself. That should never be the expectation for how a business is going to treat their employees. Right, Red? I mean, if you heard that somebody had done that to, let's say, around 500 people in Dubai, would you be upset about that? Because I have some bad news for you. I don't think any of those employees had that expectation and had the expectation that they would basically have to fight for work visas and to get their passports back. You know, so hopefully Ash sorted all of that out.
Etc. And also legal expectations as well. But there's also a lot more to it.
Yeah, like don't break all of the SEC laws. Register your securities. Don't run a pyramid scheme. They're illegal. You know, things like that. Chris says something and it spreads like VD. Exactly. You could usually find like it's Chris said it, Julie inferred it, Bill must probably put it in some kind of propaganda ad video. A lot of the times it's Bill Must and what he says too. And you know his videos, they're crazy sometimes. So people like really, really do grab onto the things he says in them, even when they're like nuts. And let's be real, you have to think for 8 years there was constant hype. And then over the last few months, it just died. None. Zero. Zip. No more hype. So the people that are in this, that are still here, wanting to promote whatever Ash does, because they've been brainwashed, they are kind of going to grasp on to anything you say right now that they can hype up, because that's all they know what to do. That's all they can do, really, is hype up whatever it is that Ash says that they're doing in that moment. It keeps changing. So, like, they're grasping at anything that they can to be like, yeah, this is a good idea that I'm here still. Woohoo.
Than just your personal one. And that is expectations within a business. And that is the belief or assumption that customers, employees, leaders, investors, etc., have about performance of that business, conduct and outcomes, acting as a benchmark for satisfaction, influencing behavior and driving success when met, but causing disappointment or conflict when missed. Again, we've experienced this ourselves with that business expectation of what we might have thought might happen, with the other side of things as well, when things don't go exactly according to plan.
What? Wait, what was that sentence? That was what?
With the behavior and driving success when met, but causing disappointment or conflict when missed. Again, we've experienced this ourselves with that business expectation of what we might have thought might happen, with the other side of things as well, when things don't go exactly according to plan.
Yeah, no, that just didn't make much sense. I think I know what he was trying to say, though. The other side of things as well, that's the part that threw me off. I was like, wait, the other side of what? What are you talking about? But I guess he's referring to on passive, I think, when he says that. There is no plan. I don't think so.
That scuppers your expectations. Again, I say it is not a bad thing to have expectations, because it keeps you on a certain path. Having that expectation of something at the end of it is what drives an awful lot of us forward in our goals and motivation to stay the course in any business. That expectation of something at the end.
Yeah, you mean like commission? Is this your way of telling everyone that they shouldn't expect commissions, Red? Red's over here like, you guys, we're not getting commissions in Victory with Ash. We got 8 years of this.
And remember, everybody's expectations are different. Mine are different to yours. Yours are different to somebody else's, etc. One size does not fit all. And this is why it's really important to be very grounded about expectations and don't make them too big. Because inevitably, if you have high...
Like you're like 8 years too late for this speech.
...expectations, you will always, well, not always, but often be disappointed because you're putting too much of an emphasis on a high expectation from something.
Okay.
Within business, effective management involves clear, honest communication, realistic goal settings, and aligning internal company goals with external customer needs for smooth operations and growth.
Yeah, so what happens when the CEO like disappears and hides in the background, and then he's just talking to you and communicating with you via like cryptid on passive ecosystem back messages. You know, is that good communication skills?
It really is important to understand that business expectations come in different types. It's not one individual one. There is obviously the customer's expectation of a business. And this is the hopes for product quality, servicing, speeds, ease.
I just want to bring up, though, Red, that there is a minimum, a standard. Like, you know, we expect businesses to be ethical. You know, not scams.
Easy resolutions, personalization, and data security shaped by past experiences and also industry trends. This is what the customer is expecting of the business. There's also
I'm really surprised Brett is still at this. I know, I was hoping he would like wake up, but I honestly think it's sunk cost fallacy. At this point, Red's kind of like, this has to work out. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a moron. And I do not want to look like a moron. So I'm just going to keep going.
Expectations, and that is demands of a fair pay, growth opportunities, good working life balance, supportive managers, recognition, and clear communication within the business. Mm-hmm. And then there is the employer company expectations. What is the boss, the person in charge? What are they expecting from not only the business, but from also the people within it?
The only thing here, though, Red, is that you keep talking about a business, an employer, and employees. Except OnPassive wasn't a business with employer and employees in the sense that you were the employee. Sure, they had those employees that they stole the passports from and didn't pay for at least 9 months. That happened. But they were the ones that were the tech team. Those were the tech guys and like the alleged customer service people. Those were the distributors, right? When you're a distributor in a multi-level marketing scheme, you're not an employee and they're not your employers. You're an independent contractor for a big corporation, basically. And that's part of the issue here. Part of the issue here is that they did that, all right? The law did that to protect these businesses so that they could fuck you over with wages. So that they could fuck you over with commissions, not pay you a livable wage, and then you would still work just as hard for them. And it's working. Millions of people are doing it from every country every year. These big corporations are getting free labor left, right, and center from all kinds of hashtag boss babes. So, like, I know that you're trying to talk about expectations in the sense of like a business that sells products to customers. I'd even argue some of the other MLMs would be better to compare themselves to business. At least they have customers and have had products and have done a sale. Here, you guys never even got that far. Like, we never sold a product. You're the customer. MLMs created this whole contractor distributor thing so that they get free marketing, free labor, and no matter what, they have customers because the distributors are buying in every month to keep their PV to make sure that they can still rank. You know, if they don't rank, then they lose their pink Cadillac. It's awful. So, like that's the whole scam. The whole thing's a scam. The whole industry is a scam. You guys didn't even get that far, though. You didn't have the product to sell. Like, you haven't done a sale. And then I'm even more confused if we're talking about Victory with Ash, because it's not supposed to be a business at all. It's supposed to be a free learning platform. But you guys keep talking about having these amazing technologies that are going to blow people away in it, as if it's on passive. And you keep talking about like sales and employee and employers. And I'm like, yeah, but none of that should be existing. I thought it's just a platform that Ash is doing videos on that you're going to watch for free. So like the only employers and employees would then be his tech team again, not you guys. So it doesn't apply to you. So I don't know why you've done this full like 20-minute video where you're like, I'm going to talk about Victory with Ash like it's a business and we're about to be selling a whole bunch of products to customers. And Ash is our employer and we're his employees. And it's hilarious to me because this whole thing is about what, Red? Realistic expectations about what this is. We've lost the plot, Red. New book.
And that is the needs for employee dependability, skill application, i.e. technical and software evolvement, productivity, innovation, and alignment with strategic goals. This is important to understand that those key elements of the business are important as far as expectations of the whole is involved. Each one individually important, but when they come together, they evolve into making a business successful.
I mean, I guess you could argue that you guys have like the platform area that Ash will be uploading videos to. You know, the Victory with Ash back office, which I hear is even worse than the OES back office. And based on what I've seen, it is. It's more plain and boring. Anyway, I guess you could argue that that's like technology in a platform, but it's not supposed to be the selling point here, right? The selling point of Victory with Ash, if it were a business, would be Ash's knowledge, his immense business knowledge. He's going to teach us how to run a pyramid scheme that's in pre-launch for almost a decade, how to talk for 10 hours and say absolutely nothing, how to get sued for $108 million by the SEC. Can't wait. Can't wait for his business classes. But like, that's the selling point. So it always makes me laugh when they're like, oh yeah, and the technology. Oh, the platform's great. The products are going to be great. I'm like, the product is Ash. Always kind of has been, right? This is basically a cult of personality surrounding him. But like now him and his knowledge is actually the product here. And it's for free. Which means that you're not working for anyone because you're not getting commissions. I know you guys are recruiting 10 people within 100 days. That's what they're supposed to be doing right now in the platform. And you guys claim that you've gotten like 1 million people almost. But it's like, then you're all just going to sit there and then watch videos of Ash. Like that's all you'll be doing. Once that part's done. Because the second you sell something, I'm sending it to the SEC.
Successful. So really, why does managing expectations as far as a business really do count? Why are they important?
Yeah, especially here. Please do explain.
Are they something that should be looked at within a business environment? Why? Because it helps to boost morale and engagement. Clarity of goals gives employees confidence and purpose, improving collaboration. That means having realistic goals so that expectation of what they can achieve, they actually do. And when they do, guess what? You are applauded, you are given the satisfaction of achieving those goals, and or maybe a nice thank you from the business involved, maybe a bonus or boost or whatever it may be.
Jesus Christ. Well, what's the goal? Just to get ready for the next company whenever Ash launches it 8 years from now because of his 8-year director bar? Like, I'm like, It's funny because they're like, yeah, set up these realistic expectations. I'm like, they can't. Like, they don't even know what this really is. It's never been properly explained to them what it is that they're joining right now and what it's all about. So how are they supposed to set any goals? Like, you know what I mean? We're right back to that. He's like, yes, set the goals and make sure that you have realistic expectations when you do. And I'm like, at this point, if I were them, I would just give up on expectations. Fuck it. Hello, Salami. Happy New Year to you. Red's teaching us about how we should lower our expectations.
This certainly helps as far as company morale is all about. And if you remember back to the old business, our CEO did an awful lot of this morale boosting as far as the employees were concerned. It also
yes, and if you don't believe me, you can go check out how they spent their Christmas in 2023.
helps to drive satisfaction. Meeting or exceeding customer expectations builds trusts and loyalty. Within business, it's better to under-promise and over-deliver on something.
Just be like, Ash is a complete moron. He doesn't really know anything about business. So you should come join Victory with Ash and learn from him.
That way, the customer feels they are getting more for what they are paying for than they expected. And if you can manage to...
Very good. I feel like you're giving the speech that I told you guys about 3 years ago when I was talking to you about how you should all stop hyping everything up because you never come with anything. I'm glad that you took notes. Like, this is so like sales 101, first day on the job. You just got hired on your sales job for any sales company, a legit one though. And it's the first day on the job. And they're like, today we're going to teach you how to go through, a couple of the objections we usually get, some of the main ones. And we're going to teach you about how you don't really upsell or you don't like oversell and you don't undersell, That's what we'll be teaching you today. And you're like, yes, thank you. Let's go. It's just so annoying. Imagine you're 8 years in and now they want to talk about expectations.
Do this within business. This will build an awful lot of loyalty as far as your business customer relationship is concerned.
Right? The last 8 years, all he learned is lots of hype equals blind faith and loyalty.
And that is why if you overachieve on something that you've promised to the customer,
which you'll never have to worry about if you're getting it from Ash Mufareh,
they are going to be very, very happy because they feel that they've got good value for money, that they are getting something extra from the company. And this is going to build this two-way street of loyalty between the business and the customer.
So again, what's the product, Red?
It also prevents conflict. Unclear expectations lead to frustration, stress, and disengagement, not only from the employer-employee point of view, but also from the customer business point of view as well. If people aren't sure what the expectation of something is, then they're not quite sure where they are. And this needs to be clear, precise, so that they know exactly what is needed for them to do what is needed for them to do.
See, it's so close. He's like right there, but it's like still not clicking that this is the exact issue that they're having in Victory with Ash right now. Is that everyone is once again in this standstill point of just waiting around. They have no clue what they're supposed to do other than add 10 people. That's it. That's all. They don't even know how to explain to 10 people what it is in order to try to get them to join. But they should somehow get 10 people to join within 100 days. Like, it's ridiculous. Come on, Red. You were so close.
It sounds a bit complicated, but it really is not. People
No, it's not, Red. It's not. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. So does Jelly.
Like to know exactly where they are. They don't like guessing games. They don't like to wonder too much, because if that happens, then disengagement will fall into place and people will fall away or not be engaged within the business.
And you've lost a lot of people. I know you guys are claiming your numbers are up, but they're not, because you've lost a lot of the people that weren't on passive with you.
And ensures alignment as well. Aligns everyone towards common objectives when you have the right expectations, from the leadership to the frontline staff to the customers himself. So how do you manage that expectation effectively? Be clear and transparent.
Salami says, my expectations for victory with Ash are 0. Not even just 0, all capitalized. 0. But I'm still being disappointed. This is how it goes here in victory with Ash. And you got another 8 years of this.
Transparent, obviously, goes without saying. Define goals, roles, and deliverable explicitly to avoid misunderstanding.
Oh, fuck off.
Biggest
You're avoiding
thing that most people fall down on is exactly that. I didn't really understand. I thought you meant this. I wasn't sure. All of these terminology.
Funny how the things that you then describe put the blame on the person for not understanding, and now they weren't sure. Well, that's not the problem here. The problem here is that you guys suck.
Really do make a lot of difference. Hang on. Let me just get rid of somebody.
Oh, my.
There you go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All of these things, okay, add to.
All right, which one of you guys was it? Which one of you guys was it? Someone was in his chat saying something. I didn't catch what it was, unfortunately. But I thought that was funny. It's like, hold on a second. I gotta delete this person.
2, managing effective expectations. Under promise, over deliver. Like I said, set realistic targets and strive to exceed them to create positive experiences.
Oh,
Communicate actively. Have honest, ongoing conversations about what's achievable and what's needed. You should be doing this within your own groups and circles so that you have open, honest dialogue with the people within your organization. Align people so that you're bridging that gap between you and your other people so that there is no confusion. And set those realistic goals, avoid unrealistic targets that burn out teams and damage culture, balancing ambition with well-being. It is important that we understand that having expectations is not a bad thing. We need to understand as well is that those expectations need to be controlled to a certain extent so that people don't run away with something that is out of reach as far as an expectation is concerned.
Once again, they don't know what's expected of them because they don't really know what this is. It's described as an educational platform. Ash claimed that him and his buddies were going to be giving people like business advice. And that's really all he said. Then Mike Ellis came out here, by the way, and added that they would be Ash's little geniuses that would also be like teaching people on this platform. But then you got like the OTech Pro people, and then like Red and Chris every once in a while talking about how it's going to have technology. And it doesn't sound like they're only talking about the platform that like these videos will be uploaded to in the back office. Like the way that they bring it up, of course, people kind of go to, oh, we'll be selling the technology. Like we're selling the educational platform like it's Oak Academy, like when we were in on passive. Which again, Red, that's because of their expectations, because of the past. And it would make sense because they would think that you already have that platform built still. Because you guys claimed you had built all these different platforms already several times, right? And then you go back to saying, oh no, it's not a business. Like, it's so confusing. So what are they even supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't do anything. And they don't really have any expectations other than they're probably thinking, geez, I hope I don't have to wait here for 8 years. And again, I got bad news. It wasn't me, Mordecai says. Red blocked me long ago. Probably blocked most of us long ago, to be honest.
It's much better to have low expectations and be surprised with the outcome, rather than having high expectations and then being disappointed about the outcome because you never attained them.
So guys, your expectations for this are way too high. Lower them.
It's a very strange topic, expectations.
Not really. Like, we established at the beginning of this. Not really.
We all have them subconsciously, even if we say we don't, but we do. And that is our thoughts and our desires to want to have the best positive outcome for what we are doing. This is an expectation. It is.
Are we supposed to expect a negative outcome? I mean, we do over here. But it sounds like you're telling them to. Just saying. He's quick on blocking. He is. He's not like Chris and Marty who would take forever. They'd be like, wait, whose chat are they in? And it'd be like 10 minutes before they'd even find you. You get 10 messages in that time,
Something of a want that we are all desiring. And having that is a good thing.
It's not really the same thing, though, as having expectations, because they were promised something. So, like, for me, this whole thing is stupid because it's not that these people have these, like, expectations for what Ash is going to bring them. Like, Ash straight up promised them a bunch of stuff. And then was like, oops, sorry, no, we're not doing that. We're actually doing this other thing instead. And they did a pivot. And then it was Victory with Ash. And then he promised them a whole bunch of stuff in the new year with Victory with Ash. And, like, nothing is happening. People are also used to seeing Ash around the Christmas holidays for a live stream, and it appears that didn't happen this year. And I think people are a little worried with his lack of presence. I think he's hiding, but that's just me.
It's not a bad thing at all. But one thing you must realize is that having an expectation means that you need to set the right goals to achieve that expectation. If you set goals that are out of reach, then you're not likely to have achieved the expectation you were desiring. So it really is important that we put that into the right context as far as expectations are concerned.
Okay, so we all have expectations. Expectations are natural feelings. Even if you're not aware, they're in your subconscious. And you should have low expectations because it's better to have low expectations for Victory with Ash and our future business and then to be pleasantly surprised when it ends up mediocre than it would be to have high expectations and then have everything go to shit. Like with On Passive. Remember when that happened? That was awful. We don't want that again. That's what I got out of this. Anyone else? He's working double shifts at the Golden Corral. Then they could have afforded it.
Anyway,
get a discount or something?
I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about because it's important that we understand what it is. It's important that businesses have expectations as well as us. But we also need to understand that it needs to be monitored into an area of realistic needs, I suppose. Rather than having pie in the sky expectations, let's bring it down to something that is going to be realistic, that is going to be achievable, and then we can set our goals around those smaller expectations.
You mean do SMART goals? That would be a good idea, but I love it. Let's lower those expectations.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for coming on, Red, and for telling us all to lower our expectations for what Ash Mufareh can do. I guess I couldn't agree more, to tell you the truth. And just when I was having a great laugh at that, just when I was giggling to myself, because that was pretty funny, and I was like, that will be a fun little reaction to do sometime, next week. Because I was watching this over the weekend, Jelly Snack, I believe it was. Was it you, Jelly, that posted Jeanne Oliva's video in my Discord? And it was basically her thinking that Red just gave the best presidential address that you could ever give. What we just heard about expectations. So much so that I guess she felt like a superhero.
Hi, everyone. It's Jeanne Oliva. Happy New Year. It's 2026.
Whoop, whoop. Sorry, I'm still in like, woohoo, New Year mode. Happy New Year, everybody.
I just wanted to say hello and to share some thoughts with you about something I've been thinking about for like the last month.
Wow.
There is a superhero in Marvel Comics called the Silver Surfer. Now, he's a lesser known character, and I don't know everything about him, but when I think of myself in the world, sometimes I envision myself as the Silver Surfer, someone completely metallic, like chrome, like.
Maybe you don't know who it is. So just in case you don't know who it is, which is absolutely fine. It's kind of funny because there is a female version called Shalabal. I don't know if I said that right. But this is who they're talking about. The Silver Surfer. So he's this metallic dude here. So that's how she pictures herself in the world. You always thought it was Jeanne Oliva. So I expect every unpassive leader to downgrade the expectations after each of Ash's glorious sessions. That's right. After each one, they should downgrade it by at least 10%. But yeah, I guess Jeanne sees herself as this superhero. I think that she is Delulu girl, and if you saw my thumbnail, you'll get the reference that we made. Red, low expectation boy.
If our bodies were completely chrome, reflecting out. So if any negativity comes in from outside, it just reflects off like a mirror. And so, for years and years, I've envisioned that for myself. It's a good visual for deflecting negativity. And today, Redfern in his live was talking about having to experience negativity from outside, judgments from outside, and how you stand strong in that space and continue with your own goals and vision. And it sparked my thoughts about the Silver Surfer again. And the Silver Surfer was a young astronomer from another planet who had a job that he didn't like. And he ended up leaving that job, and I'll leave it to you to research what that means. He left that job in order to come and defend the Earth. So he was from another planet, came to the Earth, and has spent, all of the powers that he has, he uses to defend the universe, to defend Earth. And some of the superpowers that he has are that he can control energy, create force fields, which is perfect, isn't it, for deflecting negativity, creating a force field around yourself. He can manipulate time and space, travel faster than light.
Imagine if you can manipulate time and space. But what if these people would go back to the days of On Passive and relive some of the glory of when they were doing like 5-hour webinars with Ash Mufareh every day? Because sometimes I wonder if they miss it, you know? I'm kind of like, do they miss those times when they were hanging out often with him and they all thought that they were all like friends and family? Like, I wonder if she would time travel back to then. Would she slow down time to savor the moments when Ash is on the webinar? Wouldn't that be awful? Does she have to watch a cartoon with her grandkids? Maybe.
He can bend space, so he has these cosmic powers and an ability to transform matter. And it made me think, okay, if we think of ourselves as superheroes, and I am someone who believes that we have a divine spark within us and we have powers that are untapped, and if we envision ourselves as these incredible versions of ourselves, it will transform the way we show up in the world, and that we can use these powers for good. So I thought he has super strength.
Yeah, you can use the powers for good by saying, come and join the Victory with Ash platform with me, in which you will be just sitting there for 8 years, just waiting for something to happen, for anything to happen, and allegedly learning off of Ash, which, like, there isn't even like a welcome video, by the way. Like, Ash hasn't even uploaded one thing to that platform. You would think at the very least there would be like a welcome video when you first log in. That's like, hello there, my name is Ash Mufareh and I am your friend. And this is Victory with Ash, the educational platform, where I will teach you all about business. Thank you so much for joining. And then like just briefly discuss like what you can do in there, I guess. Like, I'll leave you messages and then you'll see videos added. See you soon. You know, like there's nothing. There is nothing. He couldn't even be bothered to do that. There's just a couple of these like text messages, very much like the OES for On Passive, where it's just him being like, hey guys, make sure you fill out the KYC. And, you know, some people aren't going to be in here with us. Hope you don't mind. And they're just like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Let's add 10 people. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. Happy New Year. I thought a silver surfer is a gray-haired geriatric user of the internet. That's right. That's right. You know? The only women left are husband-hating gills who want to bang Ash, or at least Chris. I mean... not wrong. Not wrong. She definitely wants to use some KYC with Ash someday. And Susie always goes like starstruck whenever Ash, like you can see it in her face. As soon as Ash shows up, it's like a switch goes off. And she gets all like weird. It's bizarre.
He has durability. He has stamina.
Wait, are we talking about Ash here? She's talking about Ash having doability and stamina? Is that... I rambled for a little bit too long there, I guess.
We show up in the world and that we can use these powers for good. So I thought he has super strength. He has durability. He has stamina. And
I guess you couldn't bring Ash up and say these things. That's true.
how perfect is that for this journey that we've been on, creating and building something together with Victory with Ash that is going to go out and say, protect the earth, defend the universe. We are going to be transforming our lives and communities through the things that we learn through Victory with Ash. And
what the fuck are you talking about? Listen, before when you talked about enriching your communities and helping other communities, it made sense because there was a business model that involved you getting money. And in your guys' minds, you were all going to be millionaires off of On Passive. And you were like, yeah, once we're all millionaires from this, we'll be able to like buy our house and our fancy car and then buy our neighbor a house. Ha 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 ha. But like this is literally, now you're saying knowledge is power here, I guess, guys. They'll pay for the food for the hungry with knowledge. They will house the homeless with their knowledge from Ash Mufareh. Like, that just sounds dumb. She wants Chris to have stamina, maybe. Maybe. RVs do not encourage a lot of stamina. I don't know. Some of those people who live in RVs have like 20 kids, so I don't know. But like, see, this is an example here, though, of once again Jeanne talking about Victory with Ash like it's going to be some kind of business that is going to make you successful in some way. Like, how would you even save the world with business advice, coaching? You know how many business coaching platforms there are right now, and not one of them is fucking saving the world? Not one. I promise you.
Onward. So how perfect is this? We can envision ourselves as the Silver Surfer.
Now this is a group thing that we're doing. So Jeanne comes out here, she's like, I see myself as a superhero. The Silver Surfer. Because it looks like AI. We'll just go with it. It's the only one that looks like a robot, okay? And I see myself as that because I'm strong and I'm resilient. And, I waited around for 8 years and I'm going to have to wait around for another 8. And I'm here to do it as long as it's under Mr. Ash, Sir Lord of the Internet. But then all of a sudden she's like, so we can all, and I'm like, don't bring me into this. I don't have anything to do with your Delulu superhero world here, where your Silver Surfer and Ash Mufareh and you are here to save the world, okay? Don't, I'm not doing this exercise with you. This isn't my imagination. Get out of my head, Jeanne. Out of my imagination. All right, you are the only one that is looking at it like this. And for a moment there, I thought that she was going to say that Ash was like the Silver Surfer. And I don't know what's worse. Like, I don't know what's worse. Her comparing herself and then, like, putting herself on this weird pedestal, like, next to Ash. Like, she's fighting alongside him. Or her, like, comparing Ash to the Silver Surfer. And all the traits that he has. Because, they compare Ash to God and Allah and Jesus and Moses and God knows who else. Everybody in the Bible, pretty much. So, I mean, why not? Why not compare him to the Silver Surfer? I mean, he should be next in line. Gina's my favorite ex-on passive founder. She's either on magic mushrooms or completely poorly. Just done. She's just cooked. Her brain is cooked is what it is. She had a lobotomy several years ago, you see. One of the only few people to continue living and be able to still function after having one.
Going throughout the universe, deflecting the negative. Who cares what other people think? We have a mission. And we're going to do it together. And so I just imagine us as a bunch of Silver Surfers going around the world.
A bunch of them. Now she's imagining all of us as Silver Surfers going around the world, surfing.
Just deflecting anything that's not in alignment with our goals and our vision, and living a joyous life using our superpowers for good. And I thought, how perfect was that? So I want to thank Red for re-sparking that concept in my mind and to share it with you today. I hope you're starting off this new year with just a fresh slate. The world is yours. You can create it anew in every moment, deflect the things that come your way that aren't in alignment, and create a beautiful, beautiful.
In other words, ignore all of the negativity and the people that are telling you that Victory with Ash is a scam. That's what she really wants to say.
Life. So thank you so much for listening, and Happy New Year once more.
Happy New Year! Thank you, Jeanne. I will continue to have a good day. I've had a good day so far. So I just loved that. That was my favorite one from Jeanne this past week. It was beautiful. We're all the Silver Surfer, just flying around, aliens, and bouncing off any negativity. And we have all lowered our expectations. So, saving the world shouldn't be that hard. That's the good news. As long as we've all lowered our expectations, saving the world will not be that hard for us. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I hope that you at least had some fun with that. I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things. The little one went back to school today. So, it's weird when the holidays hit and then the little one's not at school and there's like a holiday in the middle. It's like, everything gets off kilter for like 2-3 weeks. And so I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I had health stuff before Christmas, and we'll probably be talking about that later on in the week. But we are going to be checking in with all of our favorite scams this week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Make sure that you like this. Hype up all of my stuff and watch all of it and help me get into the algorithm. Thank you so much. I hope that all of you have a fabulous, amazing night. I hope you've all had a wonderful start to 2026. I know I have, so I hope that all of you have too. And I am looking forward for what this year brings me and the channel and I guess Victory with Ash. But for now, like always, we are in to win it! Let's go! Thanks, everybody!
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
We are here.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. Is that the call?
Hey.
Friend. And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or sighing, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them over and over again. It's not the answer you want, but tell me whether Jeanne Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, right? Right there.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune into
Must be a great way to start your day.
experiences. My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Elch, by the way.
Thank you, everyone. Give it a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
I'm your
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my YouTube channel. It breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's down there.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.